Hey, welcome back to the Young To Cook You channel, a place where every second is meaningful and every glance can reveal a story that has never been told. Today, we will discuss a moment that shook the hearts of fans around the world. Xiao Zhan, the charming actor, caught a deep glance from Wang Yibo, a glance that was nothing less than jealousy. But wait, is it really jealousy? Or just a fleeting emotion? Or perhaps a long-suppressed confession? The meeting of two big stars in one frame always ignites enthusiasm among fans. But this time, it's not just their charisma or celebrity aura that's causing a stir online. In an exclusive event reuniting Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, there was a single moment that seemed to rewind their entire emotional journey. As Xiao Zhan laughed and turned his head, his eyes met Wang Yibo's gaze, and everything changed. That gaze was unusual. It wasn't just the gaze of old friends or colleagues who had shared the spotlight. There was something deeper, more personal, and perhaps more painful than mere loss. Wang Yibo's eyes seemed filled with emotion, as if holding thousands of unspoken words. And for many fans who have followed their relationship since the legendary drama The Untamed, this was no surprise. It was confirmation. The recording of that moment quickly spread widely on social media. The few-second clip went viral, analyzed frame by fans. Many believed it was a jealous glance, not because of professionalism, not because of careers, but because of feelings that had never been expressed. Perhaps it was because of Xiao Zhan's new closeness with someone, or because of the emotional distance that had always separated them without a clear reason. Behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment world, the relationships between celebrities often remain a mystery. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, two big names with brilliant careers, have always kept their privacy tightly guarded. However, body language never lies. The way they look at each other, the silence that feels deafening, all of it forms a narrative that can only be understood by those who truly pay attention. That moment seemed to be a portal that took us back to the past, when both of them were at the peak of their fame for their roles as Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. Their chemistry on screen was so strong that many hoped the love in the drama would become a reality. And maybe, just maybe, that love never truly died. It was just hidden behind a wall of silence and necessity. After that moment, the public began to notice changes in their interactions. In various occasions, both Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo appeared more cautious, more reserved, and more different. There were no more spontaneous jokes, no more meaningful glances like before. As if both of them were aware that the world had witnessed something that should have remained a secret. And now, they had to play a new role, not as secret lovers, but as two strangers who once were close. However, as usual, fans are not staying silent. Hashtags like #BoShao and #IboJealous of Xiao Zhan are trending again across various platforms. Fan art is emerging, fan fiction is increasing, and the BoShao fan community is coming back to life. They are forming theories, gathering evidence, and creating their own narratives, that behind all the silence, there is a love that still burns quietly. But behind all that, we must ask, is it fair for them? Does every glance have to be interpreted as an expression of love? Perhaps, for Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, all of this is a burden. The burden of expectations, the burden of the past, and the burden of feelings that cannot be freely expressed. In a world full of scrutiny, perhaps the only place they can be honest is in silence. However, one thing is certain. That gaze was no coincidence. There is intensity there. There are old wounds that have not healed. There is longing that has not been spoken. And for those who believe that love does not always need words, that moment is the pinnacle of all waiting. A silent acknowledgement, one that can only be captured by those who have loved in silence. Now, as the video continues to play on various platforms, we as fans can only speculate about what really happened behind the scenes. Is there hope for reconciliation? Or will they choose to continue living their separate lives, as if nothing special ever happened between them? Of course, only time will tell. But for many fans, hope for BoShao never fades. Because true love, even when hidden, always finds its own way. And perhaps one day, they will stand side by side again, not just as colleagues, but as two hearts that have finally found the courage to unite. In a world where words are often manipulated, a glance becomes the most honest form of communication. And in Wang Yibo's gaze as he looked at Xiao Zhan that night, we didn't see an actor, we saw someone who loved. In the deepest, most sincere way, and perhaps the most painful way. What happened after that moment? Many said the atmosphere became awkward. Some eyewitnesses revealed that after the gaze was caught on camera, Wang Yibo's expression changed drastically. His smile vanished, his body seemed stiffer, and he appeared to be trying to avert his gaze. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan remained professional, but there was a fleeting look of confusion in his eyes, as if he too felt something, but chose not to respond. In an instant, their warm interaction seemed to freeze. The media began to speculate. Entertainment portals started digging into their past, from old interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, to small interactions that were once considered ordinary. Now everything was being analyzed again. Were they ever truly close? Was there something that happened between them during the filming of the Untamed that the public didn't know about? Or was all of this just the overactive imagination of fans? However, for loyal fans, they don't need confirmation from the media or official statements. They've seen enough. They know, from the way Wang Yibo steals glances, from the way Xiao Zhan holds back a smile when he realizes he's being watched, that there's more than just friendship. Even if it's one-sided, even if it's love that's never been spoken, it's enough for them to believe. Interestingly, after the incident, their schedules seemed to drift apart. Wang Yibo focused more on his solo projects and motorcycle racing, while Xiao Zhan appeared more active in the world of theater and music. There were no more joint projects, no more photos at the same location. This led many to wonder if their management intentionally separated them due to the public's over-the-top reaction? Or did they themselves decide to keep their distance? However, like an unfinished story, there are always small moments that give hope. For example, when Xiao Zhan sang a song once associated with the drama The Untamed, or when Wang Yibo suddenly wore an accessory once given by Boshao fans. As if both of them still remember, still hold on to something, even if it's never spoken. Within the fandom, many refer to this moment as the unforgivable glance, a symbol of feelings held back for too long until they finally erupt in an unexpected second. And precisely because the moment was unplanned and unstaged, its authenticity is undeniable. Even those who were initially skeptical began to question what was truly happening behind the glamorous facade of their lives. Of course, many also urged fans not to force a narrative. That sometimes, celebrities also need space to simply be ordinary people with all their complexities. But it's hard not to get caught up in the emotions when seeing two people who were once so close suddenly feel so distant. This moment reminds us all that love, in any form, always carries risks, whether it's accepted or simply suffocating in silence. And if they ever harbored feelings, then that glance is proof that emotions, no matter how deeply hidden, will always find a way to surface. Even if only for a moment, even if only seen by a keen eye, but enough to change everything, enough to shake the world. In the end, we can only hope that one day, when all the pressure subsides and the world no longer forces them to appear perfect, they can be honest, at least with themselves. Because behind every story, there is always a heart brave enough to love. And we're here to support them, whatever their choice may be. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next video only on the Young To Cook You channel. Don't forget to keep believing that every gaze holds a story.